Yo, what's up, guys? This is D Brown with Trackheads. I'd like to welcome you to Trackheads TV. So, I'm going to go over the 3 reasons why I think it's going to be Kenny Bednarek's best year in 2025. Better than last year, better than the year before. This is going to be hands down his best year, right? We already saw him open up in 2 Grand Slams. This Miami Grand Slam, it being the fastest Grand Slam that he has had, running 1985, a world lead, and also running 9.78. Slightly wind dated, but still a very quality time. Maramir is a pretty fast track. The fastest runway up there with probably on the East Coast. Oregon being the fastest one on the West Coast, just from time-wise. It seems like everybody runs crazy times on that track. Maybe it's 99 meters or 98 meters, but either way, he's been really doing his thing. So I want to list 3 reasons why I think it's going to be his best season, just based on my observation, based on how he's been conducting himself and how he's been doing. And hopefully you agree. If not, comment and tell me your thoughts. So we're gonna go over number one. Number one is that he is taking a page out of Noah Lyles' playbook, right? He is, being more of himself. He's dressing up. He's doing the anime swag. He's building up confidence. He's doing pretty much the same kind of presentation that Noah Lyles was doing leading into these past 2-3 years, right? Showing the Yu-Gi-Oh cards, showing the Pokemon this, showing the anime style and swag that he likes. Now, mind you, I don't know about you, but if you ever played sports before, when you're able to express yourself as an athlete, it's a lot better. It's a lot better vibes and feelings that you have when it's time for you to perform. You're not nervous. You're not thinking about, man, I don't know if I can do this. When you dressed up like yourself and you can show yo, I love Pokemon, I love anime, I love Yu-Gi-Oh, I love Digimon, whatever the case is. It's just like wearing, if you're a youth athlete and you like to wear socks or you like to wear your arm sleeve, it shows your swag. And like I said, people have been wanting to do this, but I think, despite the critiques that a lot of people have about Noah Lyles and his antics, when you're winning and you're doing the antics, it makes people want to do the antics. So I think, he's always had the little headbands, thing that he's been doing, Kung Fu Kenny, whatever the case is. But now he's starting to really up the ante, and he's starting to have more of a presence with the ante. It's kind of cool to see. So I think he has more of a confidence when he goes into a lot of these meets. He's showing up as the Kung Fu Kenny with, and really playing into that persona. And I think that's one of the factors that's going to lead him to having a very important year. Right. And it seems like, the more people that are fans of it, because anime has a very big fan base, of course, with the World Championships being in Tokyo, I can see what he's doing. He's building up into that. So it's really going to be, kind of like a Noah Lyles and Kenny Bednarek, who's going to be the face of the Tokyo guy, the anime guy, who's going to be that representation of the anime lover that's going to be displayed, in Tokyo. So that should be really interesting. That'd be my first reason. Second reason is that, technically in his race, the biggest, Kenny Bednarek had Noah Lyles issues, right? Sometimes when you're great at the 200 and you're trying to go back and forth to the 100, the acceleration is like the biggest thing, because in the 200, you must possess a lot of speed endurance. But in the 100, that speed endurance, there can sometimes not be enough runway for that speed endurance to take over and display itself and show itself, because it's lost in acceleration, right? If you don't have a good acceleration in that 100, you don't put yourself in a position for your speed endurance to even be a factor, because there's not enough time, right? If the track was 120 meters, maybe it would be enough time, but for 100, a lot of these accelerators are able to get out, and you're not able to take advantage unless you just cross your fingers and hope for the best. So, when it comes to running some of his runs, especially this year, I have noticed that he no longer has the flaw of not being able to accelerate and push, right? He's pushing with the best of them. I specifically saw in Grand Slam, when he was in Jamaica for Grand Slam, he tripped and fell. But he's running against some of the best accelerators in the game. We're talking about Akeem Blake. We're talking about Oblique Seville. We're talking about some of the best accelerators who run quality 60s, and he's not behind in 30 meters. He's actually competing with them 230, from 30 to 60, transitioning past them from 60 to 100. He's gapping them, right? That's not something that we saw from Kenny the year before. We started to see it a little bit, but it's not something that we saw the year before. Definitely not what we saw before then. So I think he's definitely, you know, more focused on having a more complete race, right? Especially for the 100, which in turn will help his 200, because he's one of those rare guys who is so blessed in speed endurance that that 100 is surely going to affect his 200 in a positive way, the same way that it did Noah Lyles. So that would be my number 2 reason. Number three would have to be that, man, his training group is phenomenal. You know, he has Courtney Lindsay, he has, you know, a bunch of different guys. But the most important person that he had that joined his group recently has been Christian Coleman. Right now, Christian Coleman has been the blueprint for a lot of track and field athletes. Now, on the youth side, on the high school side, on the collegiate side, but most importantly on the pro side. They are breaking this guy's, you know, technique down, his form down. And when you have this guy in your practice sessions and you get to do starts against this guy to help enhance yourself, to help get yourself better, there's no reason, like, you're training with the best starter in the world. There is no way that you're not going to be the best version of yourself. There's no reason why you're not going to improve your start in turn, you know. So I think that's the most important thing that people don't really consider is, like, this guy is now training with Christian Coleman, who is the world record holder in the 60 and is considered the best starter in the world ever. Right? So when you get the opportunity to break that down, see it in practice, race against it, your coach is checking him out and learning from him, applying that to you, seeing, like, look at how Christian is pushing, look at how he's accelerating, look at his arm motions, and I'm sure Christian is also benefiting as well. But I think if that's the missing piece that you were having, is, again, this is reminiscent of Noah Lyles. That's the missing piece that he was trying to search for when he was doing his 100. Why not take advantage of it? Because this guy is in my camp, right? So I think that's very, very important, and a very important factor to consider in Kenny's development, that he has the ability to have the world's best starter in his training camp. And that's why he's going to have his best year, because he already is a great top-end athlete. He's already, you know, pretty accomplished in the 200, and I know he wants to get to the 100 so he can, you know, shut Noah Lyles up. They're virtually the same athlete when it comes to they actually have a lot of things in common in terms of what their strengths and weaknesses are, and seeing Noah Lyles correct his weaknesses and improve his strengths, which led to his success in being Olympic champion. I'm sure Kenny Bednareks was the same exact thing. So those are the 3 biggest things I would say that Kenny Bednareks has improved on, and why I think that he's going to have one of the best years of his life in terms of being a professional athlete. Now, does that mean he's going to win? I don't know. You know, a lot of people have not opened up yet. It's a very long season, but I will say he could potentially have a couple upsets, you know, and I think a lot of people have to consider too, Noah Lyles has the bye in the 100 and 200 for the world championship. So with that being said, will Noah Lyles even compete at the USAs? You know, that could give all the confidence in the world to Kenny if he's able to sweep the 1 and the 2. Very, very important factors to consider going into this new year. So with that being said, I want to thank you guys for watching. This is D Brown with Trackers. If you agree, like and comment. If you don't agree, put in the comment why you don't agree. I would love to hear your explanation about why you think Kenny Bednareks will or will not have one of the best years of his life on the professional career. So thank you guys for watching. This is D Brown with Trackers. I'll see y'all later. Peace.